All right, guys. In terms of fantasy football, like I'm being honest, guys, if you draft before the preseason's over, I mean that's just kind of your fault. But anyway, yeah, this is the main position fantasy. Again, I got to cover the wide receivers yesterday, but this is definitely something a little bit more important. Anyway, those guys, yes, expect some bias in these rankings for these running backs because again, I did draft some of these guys, so just be ready for that. But other than that, yeah, running backs, let's go. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the 2025 edition of the running back tier list rankings. There's a good amount of guys in this list. You should know at least some of them. I mean, we got a pretty good list of guys. We got Darius Geis. Not joking. I mean, he looks like him. Darius Geis hasn't been around since 2019. That's a pretty old name. But we got some other criminals. We got some bad running backs. We got some good running backs. We got some injured running backs. We got a little bit of everything. And again, when we look at this, I don't know why it's number one. It should be, I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, though, rookie, that's our bottom tier because I'm going to put the guys that, I don't know, they're probably not going to play, and I don't even know if they'll make the roster. That's where they'll go. F tier, these running backs suck. They're the bane of my existence. D tier, they're not very good. C tier, I don't know. They're just kind of okay. You don't want to be in that tier. It's not really a good place to be. B tier, they're solid. Kind of just boring, to be honest with you guys. B plus, there's a pretty solid running backs, and you could probably definitely start them. A tier, really good running backs. S minus tier, I don't know. They're just not quite here. And then S tier, these are your number one bell cow, those guys, backs. And then question mark, I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to call these guys. They're better than these guys. That's what I'll say there. Anyway, we'll start out with James Cook for the Bills, who again has had back-to-back pretty darn good seasons. Again, last year I think it was a little bit miscued or skewed from or miscued, whatever. That's besides the point. He had, what was it, 30, 20 touchdowns, something like that last year. I don't think it was because he's exactly a great runner, but he is explosive at times, and he's very smooth and he's very efficient. So I'm gonna keep him in A tier. He's a very good back, but honestly, I don't really think he's quite top 10. Is this Ty Johnson or Ray Davis? Let's just say this is Ty Johnson because I think that's Ray Davis, right? He's a chunky boy, yeah. Ty Johnson for me is actually not that bad at all. Very serviceable receiving back, very efficient. He's not going to really be a guy that'll, I don't know, give you maybe any big sort of games by any means, but again, he'll be a really good back for you. And again, there's a lot worse guys to have there. Ray Davis can go right next to him. I think he's a guy who can kind of gives you a little bit of a different game. He's not exactly a power back, but the fact he gives you that sort of game, as well as the fact that he can kind of get outside the tackles and still be an effective running back, is very valuable. As well as the fact that he's just again a really darn good backup. So again, for backup guys, I think they go here. I respect them a lot. This is Darrington Evans. I'm gonna put him in D tier. He's not the worst guy. I think when he's come to the Bills and playing preseason, he isn't that bad. Honestly, I don't even know if they're gonna keep him on the roster. But again, he's not a very good running back to have. But like, there's definitely worse guys to be out there. Now we're on to Devon Achane, who again got targeted way too much last year. I'm putting him in A tier though because he's a guy you can rely on a lot. Also one of the fastest running backs in football, and as a runner, even though he might not be the highest volume guy, he's still going to give you very good efficiency. I would like to see him be a little bit better in the red zone and maybe become a little bit more versatile as a receiving back, despite how productive he was last year. Without that said, again, that's fantasy speaking, he'll still be a pretty valuable PPR guy. But in terms of an actual running back, schematically, I think there's definitely a little bit more to his game. Ollie Gordon, he's really pushing to be the second running back on this team, and honestly, I think he definitely deserves to be that. Again, I'm not a big guy to go off of preseason and all that stuff, but guys, let's just be honest, he's better than Jalen Wright. I'm sorry, that's just simple truth there. Again, after a pretty monster season in 2023, he was absolutely atrocious in 2024. Again, on an 0-9 Big 12 Oklahoma State team, yeah, they weren't very good at all. But for Ollie, he just looks a lot more like himself, to be honest with you guys, in the way he runs, which is really good. I just want to see him maybe get a good amount of carries, especially in the red zone, because I think there's definitely an element there that he can definitely transcend this offense in there. But we'll see what happens with him. Jalen Wright should still get an even decent enough amount of carries, but he doesn't look as explosive as he did coming into the league. And also, he's kind of just been a disappointing guy for me so far. He's looked hesitant, and the fact that that's actually an issue for him is a little bit concerning for me. Because again, coming out of the draft, he's a guy that I thought was a decisive guy who could hit the holes and be very, very consistent. But again, we haven't really seen that much yet. And he's really struggled to find his groove and rhythm, which again is really what game is built off of. All right, now we're going on to Breece Hall. Breece Hall is not my favorite back in the world. I'm going to put him in B+ because I think he's more of a volume guy than anything. He really hasn't really proven to be, outside of a couple of plays once in a while, to be a true dominant runner at times. And the fact that most games he's not as consistent as these two is kind of hurting him. Also, again, many people think, yeah, he's had a 1,000-yard season. He hasn't had that yet. Also, as a receiver, yes, again, I guess it took a little bit of a step back, but he still hasn't really given me again, that being a really featured part of his game outside of parts of 2023. Again, he's obviously a very, very good back, but I haven't really seen that this guy's about to go off sort of thing, and he hasn't really done it just yet after, again, a 2021 season or 2022 season where, like, before he got injured, we're like, yeah, this is going to happen. Then 2023 had a pretty good year overall. Then, obviously, last year kind of took a little bit of a step back. So, for me, I haven't seen it yet, and I don't really know if we're going to actually see anything better than last year. We'll see what happens, though, because, again, in this offense, we'll definitely get a lot of chances. Is this Isaiah Davis? I think that's Isaiah Davis. Braylon Allen, for me, is going in C tier, guys. I really like his game a lot. I think he could definitely be a really solid back, but outside of week 2 last year, he was just completely just not a non-factor, to be honest with you guys. And the fact that that was the case is a little bit concerning for me. Again, he really hasn't been truly a really darn good player since 2022 at Wisconsin. Because 2023, they didn't use him right. Mike Norvell, I don't know what the hell he was. Not Mike Norvell. What's their head coach's name? Wisconsin football. Luke Fickell? Coach. It's Luke Fickell, right? Yeah. Luke Fickell just kind of gave it up on this year, but, like, again, when they had him, I don't know what they're trying to do there, but he didn't really look good at all. But yes, last year I did like, again, he's still obviously a back that's very good. He's like huge and he can freaking move mountains when he wants to. But the fact, again, he didn't really do much outside of maybe a couple of decent pass plays towards the end of the season. Again, it's just kind of like after week 2 kind of fell off a cliff. But we'll see what happens. Isaiah Davis for me is D tier. He's going to be a serviceable back for you. But again, when he gets wrapped up, he's going to get wrapped up, kind of hurts your scheme a little bit. But as a third back, he's not bad at all. Ramondre Stevenson, I think, is perfect for B tier. He's a solid back, but let's be honest, guys, he really hasn't done much to really be put anywhere else. At least the past 2 years. I do think that his 2022 season was a little bit of an anomaly. He was absolutely fantastic that year, but outside of that, guys, the past 2 seasons, he's just kind of been a decent starting running back and really nothing more. But at the same time, like, there's definitely worse backs to have. TreVeyon Henderson's going in C tier. Again, everyone thinks he's going to go up and put up, like, I don't know, top 5 running back fantasy season, which, let's be honest, guys, I'm sick and tired of this shit because he's a guy that, yes, after got to college, showed pretty darn good explosiveness, which, again, I guess was rare in this class, if you want to say that. But, guys, there's no way he's going to be able to do that. He just doesn't really give me the projection there, and on film, he just didn't really break tackles at a clip where I see that actually happening. But who knows? Maybe he has, like, a couple of long touchdowns, and that kind of boosts that up, but we'll see what happens with him. Antonio Gibson's going right next to him in C tier. He's a serviceable back, but let's be honest, guys, he's not really a starting back. He doesn't really give you the effectiveness. Honestly, I probably should make another tier. I'm gonna C- tier. I think that makes a little more sense. I don't know. What color are we doing? We're doing that. No, that doesn't work. That looks ugly. Yeah. That's what we're... okay. Sure. Bam, bam. Yeah, I'm good with that. No, yeah, I'm good with that. All right, but for Antonio Gibson, he's a solid back. He's going to be a good receiver for you. He'll be explosive once in a while, but an actual true runner, he's not very good. Alexander Mattison. What do I do with you? I don't think he's terrible. We all know that. He's a horrible running back. But is he worse than Darrynton Evans? That's a little bit of a crazy thing to say. I'm going to keep him in D tier. I think he's absolutely awful. I think he's a waste of space out there. I think he's a waste of touches. But at the same time, like, he's not this bad. There's some other guys for that. But he's pretty close to there. He actually wasn't the worst player in that Raiders offense last year, but he was pretty darn close. Yeah, he's a horrible running back. Like, he's just, again, outside of that one season, 2020, with the Vikings, where he was somewhat valuable, he's been absolutely awful for any team any blade of grass he stepped on since then. Chase Brown. For me, Chase Brown goes in A tier. He's just too, like, I don't know. There's no way he won't put up a good season this year. Let's be honest. In a running game that really wasn't tailored to him at all, he did a really good job. I understand that the passing game had something to do with that, but even then, like, the offensive line didn't really block well at all for him. And as a receiver, he's actually one of the more versatile guys in football. And I actually really like his route tree for a running back, and it's pretty transcendent from what we've seen from some other guys. Again, overall, he just breaks tackles, and he's just a dog out there. Like, I got to give him his props here. Again, at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for in a running back. All right, who is this? Zach Moss? Is he still on there? I don't think he is. Who's the Bengals' backup? It's not. It's not Samaje. It is. Where did is this supposed to be Zach Moss? Is this? Yeah, I think that is Zach Moss. What happened to Zach Moss? Yeah, they released him. Zach Moss was... this just isn't really fair for him. He was absolutely god-awful before he got injured last year. Like, he was worse than Alexander Mattison. But, like, he was actually trash. But, again, no one's picking up, so, like, I'm, like, really concerned right now. But realistically, I'm not going to dog on him too much. I'm putting him C minus. I understand he was probably the worst running back in the NFL last year. He actually got a regular amount of carries to start the season. Like there's no other way to quantify it. He was that bad. But I don't think it's really fair to just go off of that. I don't think he really fit the Bengals at all. At least from what we saw on film. But overall, he's still a guy that I think has, again, similar to Hunter Renfrow, who, again, is actually making a comeback with Panthers. Again, if he can get back on his feet, I could definitely see him, becoming somewhat of a decent player again. But, yeah, I can't put him lower than this because and for me, it just doesn't sit right. Again, I understand how bad he was last year. That's just not something I can really do right now. Samaje Perine is an average running back. He's unk. But he can still give you solid play. He's not going to be like some detriment to your team. Taj Brooks, that's our first entry into rookie. I don't really know where else to put him, to be honest with you guys. We'll see what happens, though. Jerome Ford, he is a solid running back. Nothing really much more. He's given you solid production in the past 2 years. If he's your number one back, is it the greatest thing in the world? Not really, but you can definitely live with it. Quinshon Judkins, he's a criminal. But he's also a rookie. Realistically, though, he'll probably go in C tier. He should be a decent player. But yeah, get out of prison, I don't know. Something like that. Dylan Sampson, I'm not really high on him, but he'll be a good red zone gadget for them. Again, if they don't give it all to Jerome Ford, he should get the options there. I guess is there another guy in the Browns that I'm just missing? I think it might be Pierre Strong, who's not ideal. It is. He's just kind of too stiff for me, to be honest with you guys. Derrick Henry, first one in the, I don't know what tier this is supposed to be. He still is defying the laws of, I don't even know, everything running back. And I don't know, maybe he put up 3,000 yards again. He almost did last year. Justice Hill's a solid backup. But yeah, not really much more. Honestly, probably C minus here. Again, his numbers are good, but again, he's in the Ravens offense, so like, what do you expect? No, realistically, it goes in C tier. I think he does a little bit more than that. Keaton Mitchell, he's got to go in C minus because he didn't do much of anything last year. Again, as a rookie, I understand that massive game against the Seahawks, but what the heck else did he do last year? Like, absolutely nothing, and even 23 before he got injured, absolutely nothing. He's not going to average 10 yards per carry, that's all I can say. Jaylen Warren, what do I do with you? You're going in B tier. You're a solid back. You're definitely better than a lot of backups, but you're definitely not a true starter. So, yeah. Again, I guess you could, like, make the argument that he doesn't belong here, but, like, I'm making the argument that he does belong here. Like, I think he's a solid back, but he's, again, not really a starter. So, again, I think realistically he's probably overall better performer. I don't know, but then maybe not Barama Stevenson, but probably Jerome Ford. But, yeah, I don't think he's really a guy you want to give that many carries. Caleb Johnson, C minus tier. I don't think he's a starting caliber running back right now in the NFL. I'm not saying I thought. I think I definitely didn't go as deep into the film as I think I needed to. When it was time to again look at evaluate him before we did the ranking of the running backs for the 2025 draft. But again, looking a little bit more deep into it and what I've seen so far, he hasn't been exactly bad. But again, there's definitely a lot more that he needs to do before I actually think he'll be okay. Who is this? Kenneth Gainwell, I think. He's okay, I guess. Behind the best offensive line in football, he put up okay numbers. Not really much more than that, I guess. Honestly, probably C minus tier. He's an average backup. He's a decent backup, I guess. But, like, I don't know. I don't think he's really that great. Trey Sermon. Oh, God. Is that right? Maybe? Is it? Who is this? Trey Sermon, maybe? Trey Sermon, what do I do with you, bro? Yeah, you're going in F tier. You're an absolutely horrible running back. What else am I going to say? Jonathan Taylor's our first entry into S. No, he's S tier. He's still one of the best running backs in football. Probably top 5 for me. Outside of the fact that he's not a great receiver and he could be a better pass blocker, he runs probably a top 4 runner overall. He just breaks a lot of tackles. He's a complete power ball. I mean, there's really another way to put it. He's just an absolute freaking cannonball out there. Khalil Herbert for me is a solid running back. I'm going to keep him in C tier, though, because I don't really know if we've seen prime Khalil Herbert the past 2 years. Or really just last year, to be honest with you guys. Because his numbers last year on the Bears or in the Bengals, I guess, were less than desired. Again, 2023, 2022, he was very, very good for what his role is. But again, overall as a receiver, also dropped off production. I just don't think he's the greatest, but I really think he's a solid backup. Again, there's a lot of good things with him, but at the same time, like, how good can he actually be? DJ Gibbons, you're also a rookie. You will not play. And is this the Gibbons guy, whatever his name is, the Goodson, the guy who dropped it? He's not F tier. He's an actual pass blocker, and he can give you consistent production. But realistically, like, how good is he actually? Travis Etienne, you suck. Yeah, he's absolutely awful. But he probably belongs here. But I'm gonna keep him here. Again, stop sucking. He was absolutely terrible last year. No. You know what? What do I do with you, Travis? You were just so bad, but I'll keep you in C- because, again, you're going to get to start. I'll give you something. Tank Bigsby. He's a good running back. Give him more carries. Again, he kind of crapped out by the end of the season. We'll see how that works out. Tuden, also a rookie. Joe Mixon's going to go in A tier. I think he's still a really good running back. I understand last year really wasn't quite off in terms of the statistics from what we saw in 2023. But again, I think from what I saw, he was very, very much better running back. But at the same time, like, I think he's a little bit overrated for actually how good he was last year. But it was a much, much closer season to what we saw in 2021 for sure. But still, at the same time, he wasn't awesome. He was pretty darn good though. Nick Chubb. Respectfully, C minus tier. He's just not the same dude. I don't know, but I gotta keep them next to each other. So yeah, he's just old. Yeah, that's the best nicest thing I can say. Nothing actually against him. Is this Dameon Pierce? Is he still on them? Is he? He's still on the tech. Yeah, he is. I don't know. He had a better season than 2023. But like still wasn't awesome. He's just kind of a backup. I don't know. Woody Marks is also a rookie. Tony Pollard for me is a solid back. Honestly, probably B+. He probably deserves that. He had a decent year last year. He's the number one guy. Again, I just don't think he gives you like the highest ceiling play by any means. Tajay Spears is a backup. I want to put him in C tier, but he really didn't play that well at all last year. And then we got Hassan Haskins maybe. Who else is on this Titans team? Julius Chestnut. Oh, goodness. Caleb Mullings, he's absolutely wrong. I don't even think he's that good, but I didn't even make the roster. Julius Chestnut is not a running back. That's all I'll say. And I don't know who this is. Who is this dude, bro? Yeah, like, who are you? We got, freaking, who are these running backs? Like, bro, who are you? We got, J.K. Dobbins. Who's this? R.J. Harvey, there. I'm sorry I didn't get that right. That's completely on me. R.J. Harvey is a rookie. I think will be a really solid back. I like him a lot out of college. Just seems like a guy that can go out there and just produce for you. And I expect him to have some pretty monster season. J.K. Dobbins probably is going to go right next to him. You could argue he's B+ here, but the injuries and the fact that even like last year was his most healthy season in ages. And even then, like, he still wasn't very good. Jaleel McLaughlin. He is a backup running back. Audric Estime was absolutely awful last year. D tier. Omarion Hampton is a rookie. I expect him to be a really good back. That's that simple. I don't really know the big issue with this. Najee, I think it deserves to be in B tier because of the fact he's put up 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. But at the end of the day, guys, he's not a guy that is really going to be that great. Other guys for the Chargers. Who do we have? Is this Hassan Haskins? I don't even know. I'm just guessing at this point. Who else do we got in this Chargers roster? Kamani Valda. There we go. I don't know. He'll go in D tier. Just not very good. And then Hassan Haskins is absolutely trash. But yeah, for Kamani Valda, did he have that game against the Chargers? If I remember that, not the Chargers, my bad. The Broncos in Denver, where he was pretty good. But really, outside of that, what is he? Isaiah Pacheco for me is gonna go in C tier. He was so bad last year, guys. Really, again, he's probably more like here, but like, bro, you were terrible last year, and like, bro, just play better. Yeah, he was not good. Kareem Hunt goes right next to him. Kareem Hunt was a better running back than him last year, and Kareem Hunt, we all know, is just kind of, I don't know, a decent backup at this point, and that's being nice. Elijah Mitchell, where do I put you? He hasn't played in like 2 years, and like outside of 2021, he has just not been healthy whatsoever. So like, there's really nowhere I can put him that can really justify it. I think he's gonna be this good this year, and he might even get the carries, to be honest with you guys, because he's probably the best running back in that room. But the fact that again the injuries are just so bad, I'm just probably gonna throw him in rookie because I really have no idea where he is right now. We'll see what happens with him. Genty, yeah, you're gonna go right here. I can't put you in S tier because you haven't played a down yet of the real regular season football. But yeah, you're the best running back we've seen in a pretty long time. So prove that you're that good. I don't know. Yeah, Zamir White's absolutely. The Dolphins are not running out great guys right now. Not the Dolphins. I was looking at Raheem Mostert. The Raiders. Yeah, that's who I was saying. Definitely. Yeah. Who else do we got? Sincere McCormick. He tries, but he's not a good running back. Raheem Mostert is bad. He's just not a good running back anymore. Who do we even have? I think we got. I don't even think Dorian. Whatever his name. King. The guy who's gonna start for them. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I don't even know if he's on this team. Brian Robinson since here. He's going to go down here. I don't know where Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. He wasn't even supposed to make this team, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. He's probably going to be their number one guy in fantasy for all we know. From what I've seen in preseason, though, his contact balance is probably the best we've seen in this entire draft outside of Ashton Jeanty, to be honest with you guys, so far. He has been that good. But again, outside of preseason projections and all that, I think he'll be a solid backup. They don't have a starter right now, I guess, then. And for that reason, Austin Eckler is decent. But again, he's old and he's slow. Like, no, only can do so much with that. But better than last year, that's for sure. Chris Rodriguez is not great. Jeremy McNichols hasn't been good in, like, I don't know, 4 years. Now on to the Cowboys. Javonte Williams is trash. Miles Sanders is also trash. Who else do we have? Jaden Blue is a rookie. I think he'll be okay. And then we got Deuce Vaughn. Yeah, you're going there because I don't even know if you can get up here. I'm joking. But still, Deuce Vaughn is just kind of on the team. Saquon, yeah, probably the best running back in football. I mean, if you put up 2,000 yards these days, should be able to get that. Will Shipley. Honestly, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and put him in like the lower tier of backups. A.J. Dillon, right next to him. He was absolutely awful last year before he got injured. Do something, bro. Tyrone Tracy's going to go in B tier. He deserves that. He was the Giants' best offensive playmaker outside of Neighbors last year. Pretty simple there. Cam Scatbo, or whatever his name is, I'm on to put him here, but, like, let's be honest, guys. He was my favorite running back in the draft. I think he'll be, like, this good. But, like, let's be honest. He's going to go in C tier. Again, realistically, he's probably there. Devin Singletary, yeah, you're just not great. Again, I can understand. You know what? I'll be nice and put him in C tier. He's still somewhat serviceable, but, like, he's just not really that great. And then Eric Gray is not good. Just being nice there. DeAndre Swift, I'm going to put him in B tier because he does deserve that. Again, his numbers were pretty bad last year, but again, he's still a starting running back in the NFL at the end of the day, so he gets that, but like definitely not ideal. Roschon Johnson. Yeah, he can score, but that's really about it. I'll keep him in C tier, though. I don't know who this is. Who else do the Bears have out there these days? Freaking Kyle Mond guy? Yeah, get out, bro. Like, what are we doing? Jahmyr Gibbs is obviously S tier. He's like one of the best running backs in football. David Montgomery's going to go in B tier. He's a solid power back, not really much more. And then Craig Reynolds I like a lot. I'll put him in C tier. I just don't think he'll ever get the carries to be able to prove it. Jacobs is going in S minus tier. He's not as good as these two. I'm be honest with you guys. I mean, I guess you could say he's better than JT, but I think JT's a more he's just a better player, to be honest with you guys. But they're very close. This is like a 1A, 1B sort of thing. That's why I put S and S minus. Marshawn Lloyd, maybe? Where the heck are you going? D tier? Like, what the hell have you done? Again, I get Packers fans are raving about him, but, like, he's just not a guy that I'm really moved by whatsoever. And then Emmanuel Wilson, who's a better back. He's going to go in C minus tier. I think he'll have a good season. Aaron Jones is going in B plus tier. Quintessential, consistent, good runner. But, again, you could argue he's right here with, Joe Mixon, but I don't really see that, to be honest with you guys. He's just not as, like, they're very similar. There's just something about Joe Mixon that like makes me want to put him in higher tier, to be honest with you guys. Jordan Mason, put him in B plus already. No, I'm putting him in B tier. He's very close to that, though. He should be a starter in the NFL. Ty Chandler's alpha. Bucky Irving, probably I'm going to put it. No, do I put him in A tier? He deserves to. He was too good as a rookie to be put anywhere else. Again, you could be ambitious and put him in S tier. Again, I drafted him for a reason, but like, yeah, I think this is the highest I can give him without being a little bit too crazy. Rachaad White's a solid backup. I'll put him in B tier. I actually think he deserves to be there. Kind of after he's kind of sucked for a little bit, he decided to be the backup, like actually backup, and to do a decent job. So I'll put him there. And then who is this? No, wait, what's his name? I'm not gonna get it. The Bucks' third string running back, Sean Tucker. Bam. Sean Tucker's not bad, but like he's just also not very good. Again, I guess he can get in the end zone, but like a lot of these guys can too. Bijan. S tier. He's the third best running back in the NFL. I'm putting him here because his eyes look so geeked. Geyer is going in B tier. He's still a really solid back. Chuba's going to go in B plus tier. He had a really good season. Rico Dowdle I don't love, but he's in B tier because he's a good back. Who else do we got here? What's going on in Pantherland? Like, what are we doing here? Why are we on this? I don't care about their schedule, to be honest with you guys. Well, I do, but I don't. Trevor Etienne and Rasheem Blackshear. Who is this? What the hell? That is not what I meant. Who are you? Who could this dude be? Travion Williams. You're a Turner. Where else am I gonna put him? What's the guy's name? What do we say? Trevor Etienne. Honestly, D tier. He'll do something. Not much though. And then Rasheem Blackshear probably can go there too. I've only seen him play a little bit. Alvin Kamara, if I was being completely honest, I think he deserves to be here, but he's going to be put in A tier because, like, as an actual runner, he's just not as good as these guys. But he's pretty close. Kendre Miller, maybe? I don't know. He's S, C minus. I don't think he's a bad player. He's just not very good. Devin Neal, D tier. I guess he's on the roster. And then Cam Akers probably go. No, he'll go here too. He's kind of trash now. Gibson, not Gibson. Benson, maybe. Is that Benson? That's obviously James Conner. Where's DeMarcano? Is that no, not DeMarcano. I think that's DeMarcano. We'll say this is Trey Benson. I'm putting him in C tier. I think he's a solid backup. He wasn't absolutely terrible last year, so I guess that's a start. James Conner, B plus tier. You're a really good back. I think he deserves that. DeMarcano is going in C minus. He's a decent gadget guy, but he's kind of smoking rears for now. And not DeMarcano, right? Yeah, no, that is him. And Michael Carter's absolutely trash. He's been just absolutely terrible. No, honestly, probably D tier. He's not great. But again, he deserves to be on a roster, I guess. CMC, S minus. Again, he's injured. I'll expect him to get injured again. Realistically, he's here, but like he's just not healthy. Like I don't trust him to stay healthy this season, to be honest with you guys. But he's better than these two, that's for sure. I like that more. There we go. Isaac Garenda, what do I do with you? I'm gonna put you in C tier. You're probably B tier, to be honest with you guys, but I haven't seen the carries just yet. Brian Robinson's B tier. He's a decent back. I don't know who this is. Jordan James. He's fine, but like not very good, I guess. And then this is, who the heck else do they have? The 49ers have anyone else on there? They got, who is this, bro? It's not good if I don't know your face, bro. Like, especially for running back. Patrick Taylor, oof. He had that one touchdown against the Bears, but that's about it. Kyren Williams. So, I understand that he has two of the least desirable traits in football, and he's slow, and he fumbles a lot, but he literally does everything else well. So, I'm going to put him in S minus tier. I think that's a little bit more realistic now that I think about it. But he's definitely a top 10 back in my opinion. Blake Corum, do something. But he's probably C minus talent wise. And then Ja'Carr Hunter, D tier. You're just not a guy that was love coming out. Then Ronnie Rivers obviously is going to F tier because he's just not a great back. I don't think he's actually a bad player, but like he hasn't really done much at all as a starter in the NFL. Kenneth Walker, talent wise, he's like here, but like he's been injured and he kind of sucked last year statistically. So do something. But yeah, he's probably gonna go here. Honestly, I'm gonna overrate and put him at B plus. I don't care that his numbers were bad. He is one of the most talented running backs in the NFL. This is the guy they drafted. What's his name? I don't know. Martinez. He's kind of just here. Boring guy. Zach Charbonnet. I don't think that's him, but I don't really care. He's going to go in B tier. He's a solid back, but I guess be a starter, I guess. Take the starting job. Who knows? And then this is their other guy that I'm not really... No. There we go. That is this dude, maybe? No, I don't know who this is. It's probably some rando. Who do we got here? Kenny McIntosh. You got cut, right? Yeah, you're not very good. That was not a good thing on my part in terms of the evaluation on him. Anyway, though, that's all I got for the 2025 NFL running back rankings. If you got any questions or any, like, why the hell is there not a 10th guy here? Well, I'd probably put Kamara. My top 10 probably goes as... No, this is what it is. Bijan, Saquon, Derrick Henry, Gibbs, Taylor, McCaffrey, Genty, Jacobs, Kyren, Alvin Kamara. Do I like that? Yeah. James Cook, Chase Brown, Achane, Bucky, Mixon. Where is he? Aaron Jones, Breece Hall, Chuba, Hampton. Yeah. Then the rest, and then like the rest of this, who cares? That's all I got for you guys there. That's kind of my rankings. Kind of got possessed there too. But anyways, yeah, the big one's tomorrow.
When he leans into that fastball, it is a legit fastball. He can spin it. Play action here. Steps up in the pocket, looking